Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the new Super Sugo Fest Orion Yamato in some PvP, and testing her out on both the INT team and the Cerebral team. With another Super Sugo Fest Yamato comes a very, very interesting buff for the PvP game mode, and one that we haven't seen in any character, and she's definitely going to find a way onto not only the INT team, but on the Cerebral team. So in the comment section below, let me know where you guys think this unit is going to work best. And at the end of the video, go back to your comment and put a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you still agree with that theory or if you disagree with that theory. But Yamato in PvP brings INT Cerebral characters, so an INT character or a Cerebral character, level 6 HP, level 6 attack, level 6 speed, and level 6 defense, which is absolutely massive. Giving level 6 to all of these stats is monstrous. On top of that, when she's KO'd, she launches her Rumble special one time. We've never seen this in before in Rumble. It's an absolutely amazing ability that basically when she dies, she goes to the top of the line and just binks her special, which does an absolutely absurd amount of things. And we'll touch on that in a second because it does have some positives and it does have some negatives. But basically what this means is when she goes to the top of the chain, she uses her special, and then she gets blown away, which is very, very interesting. But these stats that she gives to the INT team is very, very nice. Now, INT has kind of been this weird hybrid INT Cerebrally mixture. And with Yamato being an INT Free Spirit Cerebral unit, she kind of makes her way onto this team very easily and very nicely. You have a lot of units at your disposal when it comes to this. Obviously, you want to run 5 Cerebral characters for the Atlas passive, and you also want to run 5 INT characters for the other part of her passive. And Yamato's a great character because she can satisfy both of them. You will obviously need to run some other units to satisfy the Cerebral condition. Characters like or Pudding or Bonnie are all very, very nice because they have Cerebral and INT. So you can do a bit of a mixture there. And then you've got some new additions to Cerebral, stuff like 10th Anniversary Shanks works well. You've got stuff like Saul. You can run S-Hawk, as you guys are seeing in the middle. Even though he's not buffing other slasher characters, he's buffing himself and still getting an INT buff, which works nicely. And then you have the beast that is the 10th Anniversary Luffy, who's very, very good. And with these units, you can just easily decimate the S-Shark challenge event, which is actually pretty tanky and pretty strong. As mentioned though, Yamato doesn't just bring these crazy stats to the INT team, she actually brings them to the Cerebral team. So as mentioned at the start, we are utilizing her on both the INT and the Cerebral team. For myself, I think she works a little bit better on the Cerebral team because INT kind of has a lot of different options. INT has a lot of other INT Cerebral characters it can use, and whilst INT doesn't need Yamato per se, Yamato doesn't really need INT. And the thing about INT is 9 times out of 10, you're going to be using INT to go up against teams like Sai, and Yamato does have a bit of a problem when she takes on Sai units. And we'll talk about that once we get to her special. But bringing level 6 and all these stats to the Cerebral team is really, really nice. On top of the fact that she doesn't just buff Cerebral, she buffs INT characters. Now, yes, you don't get double buffed. You just get the level 6. Even if you are an INT Cerebral unit, you do only get the level 6s. But for the Cerebral characters in the front, you're getting all these buffs. And then for your bench, you're also getting the level 6 buffs too, which is really, really nice for characters like S-Hawk, for characters like Broly, Abrogi, Dory, Smoker, Shiki. You have some absolutely incredible PvP units at your disposal. Plus, you have PvP legends like Apu and New Rogue. Yes, Cerebral isn't exactly the most meta team, but with additions like Shanks and Saul and Atlas, you can do some really crazy things. And then obviously running the goats that are Nami Karina still, you can do some absolutely bonkers things. And having this really, really powerful bench that's just built around the INT team, like we used to do back in the day, just means that you can have characters like S-Hawk come in, still buffing characters like Atlas and Yamato herself, but then also still buff characters like Shanks because he is a slasher as well. Broly and Dory, they're not really doing too much besides just being really, really good bench units. But when these units do come in later in the fight, you can do some really, really nice stuff with the amount of damage output. But what makes Yamato so interesting is that ability to die and launch her special. And as you guys have probably been watching what her special does, she can do some really, really powerful things. And even with this, you guys haven't really seen the pinnacle of her power and what she can do, because to get the most out of her special, you need to be below 1% HP. Now, this can be very challenging to do, but with an ability that allows you to die and then use your special with 0% HP, means you're always going to get the big chunky part of her special. And the special states that you're going to lower the stats by level 15 for attack, speed, and defense in a large range, which is absolutely monstrous. As you can see there, we managed to take down slashes with Cerebrals, which is crazy. But not only does she lower all of these stats, she has the ability to pick out 2 high attack enemies for 7,500 fixed damage. She then applies a provoke on herself for 20 seconds. When the remaining HP is 1% or below, she targets 1 enemy with high HP for an 100% reduction. So basically what this means, 9 times out of 10, when she dies, she's going to take a unit with her. And not only take a unit with her, she has the ability to take 3 units with her. 7,500 fixed damage is an absurd amount of damage. It's a wild, wild amount. Like, just having that fixed to 2 high attacking units is absolutely disgusting. And then taking a high HP unit, like the most HP unit on the team, taking them down with her is absolutely exceptional. And if you have just a crazy ability where she is below 1% HP, she uses her special, she applies the provoke, she kills a unit, that maybe takes 2 other units with her, and then another unit kills her, and then she does this again, it's absolutely disgusting. But not only is the damage really, really good, the level 15 stat reduction in a large range for 20 seconds is massive. Level 15 attack down, defense down, and speed down should never ever be discouraged. Especially the speed. I find speed down is one of the most underrated abilities in the game, because if you can lower the enemy's speed and just stop them from using their specials and have your characters go up and up and up, you can use blowback abilities and specials to just absolutely bink off teams. And not only that, but the defense reduction means characters like Atlas are hitting harder, characters like Shanks, oh not really Shanks, but characters like on the Cerebral team, you're not really getting too much. But characters like Luffy, for example, on the INT team that we're seeing right here, they're going to do more damage as they don't actually go through defense. So this ability is really, really strong. On the INT team, you can hybrid this up with Luffy when you're taking on free spirit characters and just have them blown away with the blow away mechanic, and then have Atlas go through defense and Esalt go through defense and do some fun stuff there. Pudding's giving a lot of cooldowns too, which means you're getting these specials off a lot quicker as well. You could use something like Chopper, but Chopper I found really only works super well when you're going up against like strikers or free spirit. Pudding just kind of has a little bit more usability in terms of getting the specials off a little bit quick. But one downside to Yamato and her special is she does get inflicted with damage reduction. And as I mentioned at the start of the video, especially with the INT team and the Psy team are kind of made to counteract each other. They have damage reduction against each other, as you saw there. Ace just put up 30% damage reduction. So all the damage an in-character is doing is being reduced by 30%. Now, not all Psy characters have this, but it is a huge detriment to Yamato and her special. And that's what I was talking about at the start of the video, where it does have some flaws. When you hit a Psy unit for the 100% HP reduction and they have 30% damage reduction, it actually reduces it by 30%. So this 100% reduction actually becomes a 70% HP cut if you hit a Psy enemy. And obviously if you go up against a Psy team, like we're doing with the Gin fight, you are going to have to be funneled in to hitting a said Psy character. This is going to detriment not only the HP cut, the 100% HP cut I'm talking about, but also that 7,500 damage. And I do understand that this is meant to happen. I do understand that this is how the game is programmed. I understand that, but I do think the wording of the 100% reduction just needs to be changed, or it should be increased to say something like 130% damage reduction, or whatever the 133%, whatever it is, just to make sure that she actually kills that said Psy unit. Now, they have compensated for this in her GP stat. Her GP passive, as long as you take 15,000 damage, you can reduce one enemy with high CT for 200%, and this is just always going to kill. The 200% for me is a bit much. I think 150% would have been fine, because this also then hinders yourself with enemy passives. But as I mentioned at the start of the video, I do think that Yamato works better on the Cerebral team, because the Cerebral team has other units that can kind of bink off these Psy characters. Now, I tried this fight with a very good anti sort of Psy free spirit killing based team, and it just mollywopped me. Characters like Sanji and Gin, they just absolutely tear through in characters, so the Cerebral team just had more success. And that's what I was talking about at the start, where I think that Yamato the Cerebral team needs Yamato more than the INT team needs Yamato, and Yamato helps the Cerebral team more than what Yamato brings to that INT team. In saying that, though, I do like her across the board on both teams. I think she's very, very good, and eventually, if you ever pull 2 in the future, this is her using her auto proc special, by the way, and this is where you'll see she doesn't actually kill Luffy here. It's that 70% HP cut right there. As you guys saw, Luffy did not die. So that's the downside I do find to her special. If they change the wording just a little bit, they could easily counteract this and everything would be fine. But at the same time, like I said, I do understand that this is how the game is meant to function and how things are meant to operate. But as I mentioned at the start of the video, let me know what you guys think of Yamato down below. Do you think she works better on the INT team? Do you think she works better on the Cerebral team? Do you think that she's got a nice hybrid going for both? Because you can do some really, really fun stuff with INT Cerebral. She's great in Grand Party. I have put out a video for that already. She buffs Dex and INT and Cerebral characters over there, so make sure to go check out that video if you do want to see some more Yamato content. But while you're down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Let's